So I am going to show you, this is the second part of kind of my Zoom setting. So the first part of the video I made previously was about security and scheduling a meeting. This one is going to talk about kind of what's happening during a meeting and email notifications and other. So when I am in Zoom, I like to show my Zoom window so I can still see other participants and see myself. When I'm sharing my screen, I usually also split my screen, which I can show you how to do as well. On the Mac really quickly, my Mac has something where I just hover over this button and it would say toggle to the left or the right. And I can show you how to do that in a different video. So I typically like to have hosts and participants share video. So I usually, anybody can share. So I want to make sure all my participants can share their videos. And so if somebody else is sharing, I want to be the only one that can share kind of over that. So I don't want kids like sharing their video if I haven't given them permission to do so. So I do want my participants to be able to share their video. So I'm not enabling it in the middle of the call. So I could disable it and let some applications be shown, but I don't have that done. So annotating is nice because you can kind of write on your screen, and when you share your screen, you can do the whiteboard feature. So the whiteboard feature did not work on my Chromebook, but it does work really nicely on my Mac. So I will show you how to use the whiteboard and share your screen in a different video, but you can use this and you can write it, you can save it. So it's kind of like having the whiteboard in your classroom, right on your Zoom screen too, if you needed to show them something, or it's actually a fun way you can play like tic-tac-toe that way, or other little games. So that's kind of fun if you're kind of in toot with a kid. So I give kids remote control. I don't use this that much, but say we were doing something interactive and together and they needed to move things around. Remote control could also work if it's group work and kind of working together. I use this more if it's, I use this more outside of here. If I'm having kids kind of complete a worksheet or we're playing a game, then they can move the pieces and we can do it together. The nonverbal feedback is kind of when kids can raise their hand using the little icon in the chat feature. So I have this on, I have remote control on. The meeting reactions. So this is kind of the little emojis that will pop up on your video, like the clapping or whatever. And those are in the chat feature. So allow removed participants to rejoin. So typically, if somebody's there and they're not supposed to be, you don't want them to get back. But if you've removed somebody accidentally, you might want them to be able to come back. I think once you've removed them, they can't ever come back. So it might be helpful. It's kind of situations specific. If it's a kid and you've had to remove them because they're not in the right class, they can't come back and use that link. So you might want to click that, since we're only using the personal meeting room. Here is something very important. I'm going to turn this off where it says allow participants to rename themselves. That feature is going away. So I am not letting participants rename themselves. You want to make sure it's gray. That one I would highly recommend because it will take away a lot of the issues that we have had with kids changing their names. This one is hiding participant profile videos. So only the names will be displayed, so they can't update their profile pictures in the meeting. I think I'm going to turn that on so kids are not changing their profile pictures. So only the names of participants will be displayed on the video screen, not like whatever little icon they have. So this is one if you had kind of a bigger meeting, if you needed to report people if they were being inappropriate. I would hope we don't ever have to do this with our kids. So there's the breakout room where you can split them into smaller meetings, which is really helpful for individual work. If you know ahead of time who your groups are, you might want to check allow host to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling. So it could be automatic if you know and have previewed with kids, today we're going to work in small groups and I'm going to set you up that way right from the start. So I'm going to save this. I have never used the remote support feature, but that could be very interesting. I'm going to enable that just in case I ever need to do that. Turn on. Oh, so it doesn't work if you have a breakout room. So I would rather have the breakout room than the remote support. So I'm going to turn remote support off and breakout room on. And then closed captioning, save captions. It's up to you about the virtual background. Again, we want that to be